Nah, it truly is blissful to just feel the cold and just feel, you know, one with the river in that part. It's just good to feel connected in that sense as one. The good message to feel about is, just being, really, that's in the simplest sense, just being. Like, here where you are now, like, if you're here in your heart and your body, then you're connected with your senses. But when you're living from your mind and your headspace, you're above it all. So you're kind of just walking through at a place that's out of your body, so you feel like you're trying to control things from that alleviated state. But at that time, like, it's driving you more involved in your head rather than what's physically down here. Because what's physically down here is either a match for you or it isn't. You kind of discover that, you kind of feel that if you're in a place you should be or if the place you should not be. And it kind of brings you centered in that kind of space. So you're okay with being there, but you're ready to move on. You're part of half of you is kind of eager to be on it somewhere else. Half of you is okay with content with it, right? Because there's a belief that you have to be there doing something at some time. If you can take that belief and change it into your favor, change it to your liking, to your choosing, to what you prefer, everything kind of makes a bit more sense there. You see, you're going in flow with your body, with things you see. When you're in your mind, you're in things that aren't physically being seen. You're picturing the your mind is elsewhere, right? As in, you could tell we can kind of time travel in that sense, where we could see the future, but also from the past. And that's when you take yourself, your gut, yourself, your heart, out of where you currently are because you're on that top half level. And it's a good time. You may it may be a comfortable hell in that place. It may be a comfortable kind of space you're not comfortable being in. But when you choose the uncomfortable, when you choose things that are uncertain, you kind of get a new preference on it, and then you're kind of comfortable in that new kind of space. And it gives you the chance to come out of the mind where you're expecting it to be, and it brings you into your body where you're really keying in on the things you're seeing, on the things that you're interacting with, the things that you're visually seeing on a day-to-day basis, things you're hearing, things you're taking in. These are all everything in your peripheral, everything in your point of view that you interact with daily, everything that you hear, sense. It really does have a subconscious continuation on your body, on your point. And so if you're attached to it, you'll go through your life reenacting that same kind of state that you experienced things before. So you're kind of putting things like labeling, you're labeling to a sense before you even see them for the first time. So it takes away that joy and excitement when you experience something for the very, very first time. You see it as almost if you have fresh eyes, as if you're a child. So if you open yourself up to that, that can alleviate some tension in that space. That's a lot of what stress is built off of. We have an expectation in our minds, in our heads, that things have to be a certain way, to a certain T, otherwise I'm not happy. You see, if you can accept it for the way it is and not react and not have a large reaction to it, something that doesn't trigger you, pull you in, calm with it, sit with it, observe, but not have a such energy reaction to it. Is this something really worth being triggered on? Is this something really worth grabbing my attention and pulling me in a certain direction? You know, you can ask yourself these questions. And that really is kind of what takes the layers off. and kind of gives a fresher sort of meaning to things. You can see it more now in the present as opposed to how things were in the past or fear of what's in the future. Fear is also a false evidence appearing real. So in the sense you're not attached with it, it's only a worry, it's only a future event that can change in so many, other infinite possibilities of what really is there in the as you expect it, and it may go that way. And yeah, you could give yourself some credit for guessing that, but you're okay. You're okay regardless, and see it as that. See things as neutral as opposed to labeling as something good or something bad. Does it is it really good to you in the heart space? Is it ask yourself again? Ask yourself these questions, and you'll just be on the right trajectory. You just continue to make decisions that feel good to you, whether it's raising your energy level, lowering it. Really ponder and ask, okay, will this lead me in the right direction to where I want to be? And can I feel as though I'm in the space of where I am in the future? You're already feeling good now, so you're just taking little steps, baby steps, in that general direction. How could you not go wrong? Not in the ego sense, but in the sense of how could things naturally come back to you on a good level? If you're choosing to give, if you're choosing to really come from your heart, if you're choosing to, uh, really believe to see things happen in a good way, things that will turn out in a way that is in your favor, you know? So, and yeah, I mean, bear with me. Like, I'm only just kind of setting this up and I'm doing this entirely, I believe, from a place that just feels good. Like, I don't expect anything from it, but truly, if you feel at some sort of like value or something that is coming through on this, then I certainly appreciate it. Like, let me know. I feel as though it's something that wants to like come through and be fluent, and if I feel like I'm having a purpose here in that sense, then it just feels good to talk and be okay. Appreciate that.